I mean, how dare you think that your life, your desires, your wants supersedes, our right to live a safe life. If you don't want us, okay, tell us to kick rocks, we'll tell you to kick rocks. Move on. Don't abuse us. Don't punish us in that way. But also, my thing now is for our young girls, because almost all of my YouTube listeners are watchers are women. We have the obligation to teach the women. That's in the Bible. I think it's in the book of Titus where it talks about the older women. We are responsible for. Yes, God holds us accountable for teaching the younger women. The younger women that God has placed in our lives, you absolutely have to teach them their value, their worth. There is absolutely no excuse. There's no reason why that 15-year-old girl should have thought it was remotely acceptable for her to sell her body, let alone that of her 7-year-old stepsister. Somebody in her life should have been saying, you don't have to do that. Baby, you're worth more than that. Your value is not between your legs. It's between your ears. Those are the messages that we need to send to our young girls. For those of you that, we should all, at some point in our day and in our lives, we should all come into contact with young girls and young women. And rather than making snide remarks about them and the way they dress and the way they look, we need to be speaking life and encouragement to them. We need to tell them that, baby, you don't need to do this. You don't have to do that. There's a better way. That is what God is holding us accountable for. And I don't want the blood of any teenager, any young girl, any young person, any woman that I come in contact with on my hands because I didn't, take the opportunity and the time to say, I love you, I want the best for you, there's a better way. So please continue to, we have to shine a light on domestic violence and violence against women and children because we've become desensitized to it. It's scary, it's ugly, it's nasty. Yes, it is. All of those things. It's sickening. But we have to keep that light shined on it. We have to make it so just despicable that people will think twice before they do those things. We've just become so desensitized to violence against women that it's just like, oh, well, she must have dressed a certain way. She must have deserved it. She must have asked for it. No one asked to be raped. No one asked to have their lives put in peril. No one asks to have their self-esteem and their body damaged, sometimes beyond repair. We absolutely have to shine a light on domestic violence, on violence against women and children. We have to make the men that commit these crimes, make them, just snakes, just animals. And treat them as such. They are animals. They don't deserve second chances in our communities. I'm sorry. I just feel like that, especially violence against children. I'm all about rehabilitation, but you're not going to get a second chance with me in that regard. I understand there may be, No, there are no circumstances. No. Short of the Lord Jesus Christ coming in your life, nah, I'm good. We have absolutely nothing to talk about. Parents, hug your kids tight. Parents, know who your children are hanging with. Single parents especially. I don't have any children. My best friend is a single parent. You absolutely have to know who your kids' friends are. You can't be so concerned with your life and finding your man and being with your man and finding a husband, whatever, that you just allow your kids to just run amok, basically. And I know, none of my YouTube family is like that at all. But if you know women that aren't making the best decisions, the best choices when it comes to their own lives and the rearing of their children, please, find ways. You can do it subtly. Find ways to spend time with that child, to show them something different. Children live what they see. And I believe in my heart of hearts that that 15-year-old girl, she didn't just come up with the bright idea of prostituting herself on her own. I mean, it was a multitude of influences that I think caused that. But in my heart of hearts, I truly believe that there are some multi-generational things happening there. Someone of significant influence in her life lives like that. For a 15-year-old, and I know that they're more advanced than I am, but like I said, children learn what they live. And it said in the article that I read about the gang rape in Trenton, that the 7-year-old was extremely concerned about the 15-year-old and went with her to the party to protect her. What? The 7-year-old had, way more presence of mind than her 15-year-old sister. She had more self-worth. She didn't want her sister to be in danger and put herself, in a precarious situation. So this little baby, this little 7-year-old went with the 15-year-old to try to protect her and ended up having one of the most violent, vile, horrific, sickening things to happen to her. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss for, and I'm in sorrow for our community, for our nation. We've just lost our way in so many ways. But we can get it back. We can. All is not lost. All is not lost. God is in control. He's sovereign. He can change this. In Chronicles it talks about, if my people that are called by my name will humble themselves, pray, and turn away from their wicked ways, he'll heal our land. If we as a community, and it only takes one, it takes one person reaching one person who reaches another person who reaches another person. It only takes one. You and I can make a difference. We really can. Don't give up on our communities. Don't give up on our young men. Don't give up on our young girls. We can make a difference. We can make this nation better than when we entered it. For me, 34 years ago. For you, 20 years ago or 50 years ago. We can make it better. We just have to go back to that community, that sense of community. That one of the principles of Kwanzaa is that, we always want everybody to honor Kwanzaa, but do we honor the principles of that? Unity and community and purpose and self-determination and all of those things. We have got to get back. We have to go back to our first love. Tony Evans wrote a book, Returning to Your First Love. We have got to turn back towards God, y'all. I'm a Christian. I don't make any bones about it. But when we as a nation turn away from God, what do you think He's going to do to us? It also talks about in the Bible turning yourself eventually over to a reprobate mind. I feel like that's what's happening in our culture right now. I hate to be so gloom and doom and all of that, but I'm so, my heart literally is heavy because I can't imagine knowing that 7-year-old child. I can't imagine what I, as a grown woman who has lived and experienced things, could say to her that could possibly explain, because I know she's asking why me, that could possibly explain how something so violent could happen to her. I'm sure she's asking, what did I do wrong? Why did they do this to me? I'm grown and I can't answer those questions. My mama, who's a pastor and a preacher, she and I were talking about it, It's hard pressed for her to answer those kinds of questions. We have got to come together as a community. If there are organizations in your area that specialize in this, in my area there's a domestic violence resale store. Donate your clothes there. Go there to shop. That's small things. You may think that that's passive or that's not really making a difference. It is, because it's providing money. It's providing that will support programs that will help victims of domestic violence.